So you rent your car out on HYRECAR, you make a ton of money, it's really great, but then you get a call from the driver and he wrecked your vehicle. So what happens next? Hey, what is up guys? My name is Justin. Thank you so much for coming to this video. Well, today we're going to be talking about the risks associated with renting your car out on HYRECAR. We're going to be talking about insurance, pricing, communication, damage to your vehicle, and a bunch of other things. So if you're ready for this type of content, don't forget to subscribe and like below. You know, there's a few things that I wanted to just discuss with you guys, like pricing strategies. Is it worth it renting it out with pricing? The insurance, what happens if the renter that's renting my vehicle gets in an accident? Am I liable? Is my car gonna get repaired? All those types of things. Insurance is a little tricky with HYRECAR, but it's kind of cool because first off, you have to have your personal insurance because, well, they require it, and you're going to be driving your car to the drop-off to give to the driver, so it has to be insured, yes, by your own personal insurance, and so you're going to need that. I would recommend just getting liability because really you're never going to use your personal insurance unless you get in an accident yourself on your own, and so that's not really that important, especially if this vehicle is solely for HYRECAR. You definitely don't want to rent out a vehicle that you're using or your spare vehicle. You only want it to be like a spare vehicle. You're going to want to get liability, maybe just some cheap insurance for yourself, some personal insurance. The next thing that you're going to get from the renter is HYRECAR's insurance. HYRECAR provides insurance to the renter through a third-party insurance company. They provide a list of things: $1 million in liability, up to $25,000 damage to your vehicle, and a few other things. But there's also a third layer, which is kind of cool, and this is the main insurance that's going to be used if anything happens to your vehicle. Really, like the main concern is you don't want someone to get in an accident and hurt somebody else, and then them become after you and you liable because it's your vehicle. And so what you really want protection is for liability. Yeah, it would be horrible if the renter got in an accident and they damaged your car and there was a dent or those types of things. Yeah, those suck, but really what's important is we want to be thinking about, like, man, if somebody get in an accident and hurt someone, and that's most important. So the first layer of insurance that you get when your vehicle is rented out is through Uber, Lyft, or any rideshare driving platform that they're using. As soon as they open the app, like let's just say Uber for instance, they open the app and they're automatically insured. As soon as they press go on the little app button, they're insured under Uber's insurance, and HYRECAR says that this is the first layer of protection of insurance. And so if they were to get in an accident at this point, they would be covered under Uber or Lyft's insurance, and that would be the first form that you would use in case of any accident. Next, if they're driving and they're using the vehicle but they're not currently driving for rideshare like Uber or Lyft, well then that's when HYRECAR's secondary insurance comes under. Then they would be covered under that insurance policy. So that's like double coverage. And then last case scenario, you have your personal insurance, but I would never ever recommend you use your personal insurance for someone else's accident on your vehicle. So that would just not be a good idea. So you have like 3 levels of insurance, and then there's another thing that comes into play with HYRECAR, and that would be HYRECAR's protection plan. They have a plan where they take 15, 20 or 25% based on the plan from your daily rental. So if you rent your vehicle out for $40 a day, for the premium plan they would take $10. And these are extra things like vehicle protection as far as damage. Like if they did interior damage, it would be covered. The deductibles are different on each level. There's a basic, a standard, and then a premium. I use the standard plan. That's 15%. So I rent out my vehicle for $39 a day. They take like $7 or something like that each day, and it's good. For the standard and premium plans, if they come back with an empty gas tank, you can get up to like 85 or 100% of that value of the gas. If they leave it dirty, you can get, I think they'll give you $35 with the standard plan and $50 with the premium plan. The basic, it's like you really don't get much, but they do take that. There's a few things. I'll leave a right here on the screen, a breakdown of the different plans. I go with the standard. It's not so bad. It works out for me, and I'm protected. Thank God I've never gotten in an accident, or a renter of my cars have never gotten in an accident yet, so I don't know the process, and I can't really give you guys that much insight and like how the process works with that, but I do know what they state in their terms of service with HYRECAR. Those are their plans, those are their breakdowns, and those are the things that they're giving out. And really the main point is liability. We don't want to have our cars get in an accident, hurt somebody, and then them come after us because we own the vehicle. That would really be devastating. And so most importantly, that $1 million of liability insurance is the most important thing, and that's on all the plans, and that's with Uber and Lyft. They offer that. That's with HYRECAR. They offer that, and that's in the protection plan. So you always have that, and so that's the best thing that really is the most important. So on to our next step, we're going to be talking about pricing. So for my next concern that I had with renting out my vehicle on HYRECAR was pricing. Am I going to make enough money? Is it worth it with all the miles that I'm putting on my car? God, it's hot in here. I'm sitting in this car. It's like 90 degrees today. What happened to winter, right? Am I going to make enough money for the miles that this person is putting on my car? The risk that I'm taking with renting out my vehicle, is it worth it just to sell it and make a profit? Or am I going to make enough money off renting this vehicle out? With HYRECAR, I bought a car and I'm planning to get my money back in 4 to 5 months. So I'll be profitable then. I've been renting the second car out for about a month. So it's been doing really good. So pricing, let me get back to pricing. I'm just rambling on here. First, I started renting my 2009 Honda Civic out for $35 a day. It was pretty comparable to the other vehicles that were being rented out in the area. I felt like it was doing pretty well. The day I got it up and rented was like a Tuesday, and I think it got rented on a Thursday, and then it came back Saturday, and it rented right back out the next day. So $35 when I first started was pretty good, and I just wanted to gain experience and learn how to drop it off and the communication. And so since both my vehicles listed right now are $39, that is the rental price. After the fees that HYRECAR takes out for my protection plan, I get $31.20 per car per day. I get that in my pocket. That's how much I make. I'm happy with that. I seem to be doing pretty well. Like, what's 31 times 30? That's $900 a month. On average per car. That's super cool. Now I'm having like average 70 to 80% occupancy rate. I actually have my Honda right now rented out by a person that's had it for over a month. So I'm like 100% maxed out on that one. So it's been doing really good. I get, I just judge like I make $1,000 a month, but oftentimes it's more. This month it's far more than that, which is really good. So I'm happy with that. Covers all my expenses. It's not that much work, but pricing on the other end is a little different. So the vehicle renter pays the price, so $39 a day to rent out my vehicle, but then they also pay $13 per day for insurance. So there's a 2-day minimum rental for renting a vehicle out on HYRECAR, so that would be $26 in insurance plus $39 and another $39 for the daily rental. Plus there's more. There's more fees. HYRECAR charges a 10% service fee on the checkout. On average, I think it's like $111 or $120 for the renter to rent out for 2 days. That's the minimum. That's usually what I see someone come in, they rent the vehicle for 2 days minimum, and then they extend 1 day to 2 days. And that's what I really wanted to get at, and I wanted to talk most about. I see a lot of people like talking like trash on HYRECAR, and it's so expensive and it's not worth it. And I think a lot of people miss this, and this is really what I want to share with you guys, that HYRECAR has a really good purpose, and it's meeting a market and a need that not a lot of other companies are. There's tons of other places you can get a car. Like, you can buy a car, you can lease a car. Uber has programs with Hertz where you can rent a vehicle for a week at a time. Lyft has the same program. There's tons of other programs out there where you can get a vehicle much, much cheaper than HYRECAR. I'm not going to deny that. You can get a car so much cheaper if you needed to buy a car. If you wanted to start driving for Uber and Lyft and you didn't have a car, there's so much cheaper ways. But what a lot of people are missing, and what I think that HYRECAR is really providing a great thing for people that are trying to get into Uber and Lyft, is that they're not running credit checks. If you want to buy a car, you have to have decent credit. You can't have bankruptcies. You can't have like defaults on your credit. So if you have bad credit, you can't go buy a car, even if you have the money. Like, if you want, you have a little down payment, like, yeah, you could get a really, really bad like loan, but, and you know what? Some people are also, for the Uber and Lyft programs, they're not getting approved. So a lot of people go to rent with Uber and Lyft, they go to rent with them and they don't get approved. And so what other options do you have? And so usually people with HYRECAR don't have a ton of money to rent out a vehicle for a whole month. To rent out my vehicle for a whole month after insurance and taxes and HYRECAR service fee, it would be over $1,000. So yeah, that's a lot of money to put up all up front. But what they're missing, and what I wanted to share with you guys and tell you guys about, and what HYRECAR is doing, is they're providing a way for someone to get started driving a vehicle today with $100. If you had $100, you can go get a vehicle and you can start driving with Uber and Lyft. I drove for Uber the other day. I drove for 2 hours and I made $75. So you can pay for the vehicle in a few hours, and now you have a vehicle for 2 days and you can get off your feet. And then you rent out the vehicle day by day. You just renew one. You can extend the vehicle day by day, and you make enough money to get a down payment to get a vehicle. And I think it's a great opportunity. And so yeah, the pricing is a little expensive, and I'm not making a killing off people renting out my vehicle. I'm making a fair income off my vehicle. I'm weighing the risk and benefit and giving a fair price, and I'm giving a price that's fair to my environment and the competition around. I think that's fair, but really what HYRECAR is doing is providing an opportunity for people that don't have or cannot get a vehicle. That's all I have on pricing, so I'm going to skip on to the next one. We're going to be talking about communication with the renters. So the next thing I want to talk to you guys about today is the communication with the drivers. I was just concerned at the beginning, how is this going to go? I was kind of sketched out. I was like, am I just going to pull up, hand this guy the keys to my car, and then never see it again? After I had done my first drop off, I thought it was pretty cool in the way that HYRECAR does it. So someone puts an application on HYRECAR to rent your car. You approve it or deny it. Most of the times I approve it. You communicate with the driver when to drop off. During this time, the insurance is being generated. If you give HYRECAR a phone call, they'll usually generate the insurance right there unless there's any issues. But for the most part, the insurance happens relatively quickly. But don't drop off your vehicle until you get the insurance generated. That would be very bad. Don't drop off the vehicle, give them the keys until the insurance is generated. But once you get the insurance, you'll see in your dashboard, it'll say pending pickup. You go and then you just communicate with the driver and say, hey, where's the spot we can meet? I have a spot that I meet at that's near my house, but I never meet at my house. I made that mistake one time and I'll never do it again. I meet with people at a Walmart parking lot that's well lit, so if we meet at night, we can still do everything fine. It's safe, but it's also a public place, so it's not weird to meet. You just communicate, hey, let's meet at 6 at this spot. Here's the address, blah, blah, blah. So you meet at that spot, and the checkout process is super easy. You go to the HYRECAR app, or you can go to HYRECAR on your phone browser, and you go checkout. And then it'll say, hey, is this the person picking up the vehicle? And it'll show you a picture of their license, and you look at it and you verify that that is actually the person picking it up. I had this happen, and that was the time that I had it at my house. The person that came to pick up the vehicle was not the person. This whole time I thought I was talking to a woman, but every time she kept wanting to come pick up the vehicle, she would say, hey, can I have my boyfriend come get it? And I said, no, I have to have you come. And then, after she's like, okay, I can't get it today, I'll get it tomorrow. And I said, okay, we'll do it tomorrow then. And every time, hey, can I have my boyfriend come get it? And I'm like, no, I have to have you have to be the one in the license. And so sure enough, I thought we were meeting, and then this guy showed up that was not this woman. It was crazy. I was like, nah, I'm not renting my car out to you. So make sure it's the same person in the license. You want to be giving the car to the person that they said they are. And then, HYRECAR has a process where you take pictures of all around the vehicle. You take a picture of the odometer. You take a picture of the gas level. And then that's it. Then you click checkout or drop off or whatever the button says, and then it loads, and boom, it's good to go. And so the communication, you just really want to keep communication open with your drivers. That's what I've learned since I've started, that it's really important to just start off on the communication right. You don't want to go renter that you never talk to. If there's problems with your vehicle, if it needs an oil change, if there's problems that arise, you don't want somebody driving on issues that can make the issues worse. You want someone that's going to say, hey, I hear this weird sound, I'm concerned, can we get it addressed? Yes, absolutely, let's meet somewhere where I can get it fixed, because I want to provide a safe car for my renters. I want to provide a good working car so that they can make a lot of money. I'm not I don't want to like slave drive this car. I want to provide good value to them. And so starting off with communication, letting them know that you're willing to text and call anytime, just let me know. That is best. So I've learned that that's extremely valuable, important in renting my car out on HYRECAR, is communication. We're going to hop right into the next step. My next concern that I had with renting out my car. Hey, so the next thing I want to talk to you guys about today is inspecting your vehicle. I had some concerns about like, how am I going to know when this vehicle is dropped off and it's safe, everything's in the same working condition, the tires are good. And so I have like a little vehicle checkpoint thing that I do when I get the car back. I just check all the tires, I check around the car, because there's not really a check back in process with HYRECAR. You just click end rental and you check if the car's in the same condition, and then that's it, and then the rental's over. I have this thing that I got on Amazon, I think it's called Fixed, F-I-X-T or F-I-X-D, I think it's F-I-X-D, and it plugs in to your car, and you plug it in, and it lets you know if there's any issues with the car, like the oil needs to be changed, transmission's out. Like, it's kind of similar to what mechanics would use at a mechanic shop. I think it's for like, you pay for it on Amazon. I think it's free to use every month. There is an upgraded plan that actually like gives you like details on how to fix the things. It lets you know, but it's super cool. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to get on Amazon. I think it's like $49. It's super cool. I just plug it in the car, check it out, make sure everything's good, so that I'm not so concerned with like the person's mechanical issues, because if there's any mechanical issues with the cars that you're renting out, it's never on the renter, it's always on you. We're responsible for keeping the vehicle in good maintenance and in good condition, so that's something that we have to have, and I don't want it to break down while someone's renting. I would rather have it fixed while I have ownership and possession of the vehicle than having to like drive who knows where to pick up this person to fix the vehicle. I don't want to have that. So this little tool that I use, I plug it in and lets me know if there's any issues, and it's relatively cheap and it's really good. I was concerned with, I don't want this car to break down. As soon as I start renting it out, you know, they're gonna drive a lot of miles on your vehicle. They're driving for Uber and Lyft. But you know what, I have a 300 mile a day limit, and I have had my Honda rented out for a little over a month, like I just said, and I saw it the other day, and she hasn't even put like 5,000 miles on it. So that's really, it sounds like a lot, but it's really not that much. So I'm pretty stoked about that, because she could have had, if she would have maxed it out every day, it would have been like, I don't know, some crazy amount, like 9,000, more than 9,000 miles. So it's really not that bad in comparison. And I've honestly never had someone even come close to maxing out the miles that I allow. So it's really cool. So I could raise the maximum, but I just don't want them driving to New York and back with my car. So that's why I do that. But other than that, it's pretty decent. So yeah, my next concern. So for my last concern that I had with renting out my vehicles on HYRECAR, I want to tell you guys about is extensions. When I first started renting out my vehicle, I only had it like rent for 2 days, which is the minimum every time. And when I first started renting it out, I was like, this is crazy. If I have to pick up the vehicle every 2 days and then drop it off, this was like, I was like, this is way too much work. But what I found out is that people aren't renting the vehicle and paying upfront for a week or a month or anything like that. What they're doing is they're, you know, spending as minimal as possible, $100 to get started, rent the vehicle out for 2 days, make some money, and extend. And I'm happy with that. You know, I have most of my renters extend day by day by day, just every day. You know, they extend the vehicle. I've had someone extend a vehicle over past a month, day by day. I would say for the most part, I drop a vehicle off on like right towards the weekend, like a Thursday or Friday, and then get it back on like a Monday or a Tuesday. For the most part, I'd say 5 to 7 days is the average rental that I'm seeing for my vehicles, which is way better than 2 days. Like, I couldn't imagine dropping it off and picking it up every 2 days. So that was a concern that I had right at the beginning, was picking up and dropping my vehicles with the extensions. So I found that that's not the case. Sometimes it does just only go for 2 days, which is fine. It's most likely they're going to extend. So I do allow extensions. You can shut that off if you want your vehicle back, cut off extensions, and then pick up the vehicle when their rental's over. But that is it for this video. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching to the end. If you did, smash the like button to let me know that you like this type of content. If you're interested in seeing more HYRECAR videos, press subscribe below. I'll be putting out more side hustle videos, ways to earn money. take you guys along and see how much I can earn doing different side hustles. So if you guys like this kind of stuff, I encourage you to watch the next video, stick around, look out for more videos of mine. And I'm really trying to build a community around this where we can grow as entrepreneurs, we can build our businesses, our side hustles, we can reach financial freedom. My goal to stop making money from my day job and be solely off the businesses and be my own boss. And so if you guys want to do that, well, let's do this journey together. So thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next one.